Elon's AI just took a big leap. 10 times the power, 200,000 GPUs, and a whole new game plan. Should we be excited or worried? Let's break down the latest AI dope.
What if there was an AI that could actually outsmart you?
That's kind of what Elon Musk and his company XAI are going for with Grok 3.
Not Grok 3, yeah, it's their newest AI model.
I mean, is that even possible?
Well, that's what we're going to dive into today and figure out if it lives up to the hype.
We've got all these reports about Grok 3 from Tom's Guide, Technology Magazine, ZDNet, all sorts of places. Yeah, we're going to break down what makes this AI so special.
Well, one thing that really stood out to me was just the amount of computing power behind this thing.
Oh yeah, 200,000 GPUs in a dedicated data center in Memphis.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and it gives Grok 3 10 times the computing power of the last model.
Which was Grok 2.
Grok 2, that's right.
So what can this new model actually do?
Well, one thing that really sets it apart is that it can analyze images.
Okay, so not just text.
Not just text. You can actually show it a picture, like a scientific diagram or something.
Oh, wow.
And it can understand it and explain it to you.
That's pretty...
It also has this deep search feature, so it can actually go out on the internet and, the platform formerly known as Twitter.
X.
Right? And synthesize all that information for you.
So it's constantly learning.
Yeah.
That's a little scary.
Well, and XAI keeps saying that this AI is maximally truth-seeking.
What does that even mean?
So basically, they're saying that it's designed to give you accurate information, even if it's not the most popular opinion.
So it's not just trying to tell me what I want to hear.
Exactly.
How do we even know that's what it's doing?
Well, we don't have all the details on the algorithms and training data, but they say they're minimizing bias. Quick ask. Almost 95% of you watch our videos but still aren't subscribed. Please click subscribe. It really helps us grow. And if you're not loving our content, you can always change your mind. Thanks, and back to it.
So we've got this incredibly powerful AI that can analyze images, it can search for information. It's supposedly telling the truth, but how does it actually perform?
Well, they've put it through a bunch of tests.
Okay.
And the results are kind of amazing.
Right.
It's been outperforming other AI models in things like math, science, even coding.
I was reading about that, like AIM for math, GPQA for science.
That's right, and LCB for coding.
Those are pretty serious tests, right?
Yeah, those aren't just like online quizzes. Those are for complex problem solving.
So it's passing these tests.
It's not just passing, it's excelling.
Yeah.
Like on the chatbot arena, it's the first model to get over 1,400.
The chatbot arena.
Yeah, that's where people can vote on the best AI responses.
Oh, that's interesting.
So it's impressing regular people too, not just the experts.
Even early versions of Grok 3 were doing really well, right?
Yeah, like the one they called Chocolate.
So it sounds like they're making progress pretty quickly.
Yeah, it seems like it.
All this sounds pretty expensive.
Well, you have to have X Premium Plus to use Grok 3.
Right.
And X just raised the price of Premium Plus.
By a lot, it was like, what, 80%?
Big jump, yeah, from $22 to $40 a month.
So they must think Grok 3 is worth it.
It seems like it.
Now they've got this new tier 2, Super Grok.
Yeah, that one's supposed to have even more advanced features.
And how much is that one?
I think it's like $30 a month, or you can pay $300 for the whole year.
But what if I'm not ready to spend that much money? Can I try it for free?
You can actually try a limited version for free through the chatbot arena.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah.
Hey, want our free AI dope top AI tools that we use? Chat below. It's our live Google Sheets packed with over 100 killer tools, video, music, photos, AI voices, productivity, script writing, YouTube hacks, captions, the works, always growing, live Google Sheet, always free, AI, dope top AI tools that we use. Download and chat below. Back to the show.
So we've talked about the development of Grok 3, the features, how it performs.
Yeah, we've covered a lot.
But there's still so much more to unpack here.
Absolutely. Welcome back to our deep dive on Grok 3.
So we've talked about all the features and how well it's performing in these tests.
Yeah, but what's it actually like to use this thing?
Right, like what's the experience?
Well, Tom's Guide actually got to play around with it.
They did?
Yeah, they gave it all kinds of prompts like explaining quantum entanglement.
Oh, wow.
Summarizing the latest renewable energy research.
So they didn't go easy on it?
Not at all, and for the most part, it did really well.
Okay.
Gave them well-structured responses, even to those really tough prompts.
But I remember reading they said it doesn't always cite its sources.
Yeah, that is a drawback, makes it hard to fact-check.
Right, like if you're reading an article and there's no footnotes.
Exactly, you're left wondering, where did this information come from?
Did they just make this up?
It's like if a student handed in a paper with no bibliography.
Right, you're impressed, but you also kind of want to check their work.
And it highlights a bigger issue with AI in general.
Which is
Transparency.
Yeah.
As these models get more and more advanced, we need to know how they're coming up with their answers.
especially if they're dealing with controversial topics.
Exactly. You want to be able to trace it back to the source.
Tom's guide also mentioned that Grok 3 uses a lot of tentative language,
Oh, yeah. Like likely or probably.
even when it's presenting facts.
It's almost like it's saying, hey, don't take my word for it.
Do your own research
Right. And that kind of goes back to what we were talking about earlier.
about
You can't just blindly trust AI, even if it's designed to seek the truth.
You always have to think critically.
Exactly.
Okay, so let's talk about this price hike for X Premium Plus.
Yeah, over 80%. That's a pretty big jump.
And it wasn't that long ago that they raised it last time.
I guess XAI is really confident in Grok 3.
They're putting their money where their mouth is.
Right. It's like they're saying this is worth the extra cost.
And now they've got that new Super Grok tier.
For the people who want the absolute best AI experience.
But is it really that much better than the competition?
Well, based on the benchmarks and the feedback, it's doing really well.
But there are other good AIs out there.
Like ChatGPT, DeepSeek.
Right, so what makes Grok 3 worth all this hype and the extra money?
That's the big question, isn't it?
It is.
And the AI world is changing so fast.
Like an arms race.
Yeah, everyone's trying to build the best AI.
And XAI clearly wants to be at the front of the pack with that data center they built.
But it's not just about computing power, it's about the quality of the data they're using.
And if they can really make a truth-seeking AI,
That could change everything.
right, it wouldn't just be about giving people the answers they want.
It would be about giving them the right answers, even if they're not the answers they were hoping for.
Okay, so we've talked about the possibilities of Grok 3 and some of the challenges.
We've also looked at how it compares to other AIs.
But how could it actually be used in the real world?
That's what we're going to talk about in the last part of our deep dive.
Welcome back to our deep dive on Grok 3.
We've really gotten into the details on this one,
Yeah, we've talked about the good and the bad and even how it works.
and how much it costs.
But how could Grok 3 actually be used out in the real world?
That's the big question, isn't it?
It is, like, what are the practical applications for something this powerful?
Well, one area where it can have a huge impact is education.
Okay, how so?
Imagine every student having their own AI tutor.
That's kind of what they're saying.
That can answer any question, explain any concept, and it can tailor its teaching to each student's learning style.
So no more one-size-fits-all teaching.
Exactly. Personalized learning taken to the next level.
That would be amazing, especially for subjects like math and science.
Yeah, where students often struggle with those abstract ideas.
Having an AI that can break things down and make it all make sense.
It could really change how we learn.
And it's not just about students either. What about researchers?
Oh, yeah. Scientists and academics could use Grok 3 to analyze huge amounts of data,
Way more than a human could ever handle.
find patterns that we might miss, and come up with new hypotheses.
It's like having a research assistant that never sleeps.
Exactly. And it could lead to some incredible breakthroughs.
What about other fields like healthcare,
Well, Grok 3 could help doctors diagnose diseases earlier,
which could save lives?
create personalized treatment plans for each patient,
Wow.
and even predict patient outcomes based on all sorts of factors.
And what about finance?
Oh, I'm sure Wall Street is already drooling over this thing.
I bet.
They could use it to spot market trends, figure out which investments are risky, and even make trading decisions in real time.
So Grok 3 could really change a lot of different industries.
Yeah, the possibilities are pretty much endless.
But we have to remember that there are downsides to all this too, right?
Of course, with great power comes great responsibility.
One thing that worries me is job displacement.
Yeah, as AI gets more advanced, some jobs that humans do now might be done by machines.
So we need to think about how to prepare people for those changes.
Absolutely, make sure they have the skills they need to succeed in the future.
Speaking of jobs of the future, click this next video where we discuss Tesla's coming AI humanoid robot. Optimus isn't science fiction anymore. It's learning, evolving, and 40% of jobs could be at risk. Will you be ready?